Expecting to get the will of the people by asking us to pick between factions of elites every couple of years is out of touch with reality. We, the people, are what's for dinner. Elections just decide how we're cooked. It's really not reasonable to hope to reform elections in a way that will eliminate a political ruling class unless we first eliminate all other class divisions. For example, if all people had true equality of opportunity from birth and had the time and resources necessary to run and serve as politicians at any point in their lives. From where we stand now, for all practical purposes, a system based on elections is inconsistent with democracy. In fact, election and elite share a historical root word. Elections are a tool of aristocracy, not democracy. They are based on a worldview that elites have a right to use the power that all of us help to create to pursue their own visions. At small scales, people agree what democracy is. Everyone in the group gets an equal say in group decisions. But as the number of people increases, or the number and complexity of decisions increases, including all people in all decisions becomes impractical and then impossible. Beyond this point, we need techniques to adapt democracy to scale. From ancient Athens up until the American Revolution, political thinkers understood that sortition was the way to scale up democracy, not elections, because chance is unbiased, while elections produce distorted bodies of decision makers. This distortion begins with the type of person who runs for office. People who run for office are less likely to need to work or caregive. If they work or caregive at all, they can interrupt these activities for long stretches to campaign or serve. People who run for office are more likely to be outgoing and to see themselves as worthy of making decisions on behalf of other people, thereby increasing the proportion of them that are narcissistic or sociopathic. This already distorted population of candidates is then further distorted by the campaign process. Partisan primaries advance candidates with partisan policies. People who have culturally preferred appearances or names are more likely to advance. Because more money can pay for more effective campaigns, people who are wealthy or indebted to wealthy people have a better chance of winning. And finally, the people who end up holding office are influenced by their own power and the desire to maintain it. As they say, power corrupts. I believe that people should govern themselves with the greatest consensus possible. Choosing between factions of elites in elections is not designed to give us that outcome. The first and final word in governing should come from recurring, short-term, representative samples of the people, given the resources to deeply understand their task and incentivized to reach the greatest consensus possible. And that's not politicians. I'm worried about pollution making our land, water, and air unsafe. I'm worried about automation eliminating most jobs just as my kids are starting out. I'm worried about climate change causing mass migration, famine, and death. I'm worried about war. The people most likely to win elections are risk takers who disproportionately benefit from the current system and whose children are the least likely to be harmed in catastrophes. By the time politicians see that drastic changes must be made to save their children, I'm worried it will be too late for our children. Add your strength at Democracy Without Elections.